Hello, this is not a spring chick. We're out at the beach, and as you can see, it looks like we have a storm coming in. So if you're having a little bit of trouble seeing me, well, I guess that's just about how it is. Anyway, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
I know.
It's really dark.
I know, but you're devastatingly effective. Well, there's your red light coming out. And the whole nation is pro-union according to the polls. Maybe.
Well, they did admit that at least 20% of the people they talked to in the polls were all members of the union. And since only 11% of the people in this nation are union members, the whole poll was skewed.
And shut down a... Well, yeah?
Yeah.
Do we need to tell them that?
Yeah. Well, no, you absolutely have people to think that the nation is rallying around them when they're deliberately falsifying the results of the polling data. Every one of them is.
Shutdown averted. House passes bill with $4 billion in cuts.
Yeah, and they said the Democrats are going to have to agree to about $2 billion a week in cuts now because they said that they're just going to keep the slow death. I mean, I love this Bernanke. They said Bernanke took his foot and put it in his mouth today. Well, if you cut back these government programs, you're going to cause 200,000 people to lose their jobs and hurt the economy. And then the guy asked for, in other words, the only thing, the jobs that are being created are government jobs. I didn't say that. He said that's exactly what you said. If we cut these programs out, it will cut 200,000 government workers.
Christian medical plans get passed from the health law.
Yeah, isn't that amazing thing that everybody else gets on it, not the Christian plans, because the Christian plans don't approve abortions.
Wisconsin governor proposes deep cuts for schools.
Yeah, they're going to fire 12,000 people are going to lose their jobs because of the unions, and they're
Are you serious?
He's going to try to destroy the state. Well, no, he told the people, we don't have the money. They basically defaulted on the first loan yesterday, and they're going to default on more starting this week because of those senators who are starting to waver now. Comcast
and NBC deal opens door for online video.
It's always been open. The problem is that nobody wants, they don't want to pay for this stuff, folks. Hulu basically was dead. First thing that they did at Comcast was get rid of it.
Oh, well, what are they doing? What are they talking about a door being open then?
Well, because they got this weird idea. Well, under net neutrality, more people will be able to get into the business. Well, I'll tell you that this, the second largest viral site in the world was basically sold. 50% of it sold yesterday because they said here's the difference between Dailymotion and YouTube, which we're both on. He said Dailymotion actually makes money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're French. They don't censor everything like they do over at YouTube.
Yemeni president accuses U.S. and Israel of being behind unrest.
Yeah, because he's trying to save his career, and everybody knows that even though we got ties with Yemen, that they're basically a terrorist stronghold. So
Obama pitches economic message one state at a time.
Nobody's buying it. I mean, it's got to be the most ridiculous thing. Green energy, infrastructure, all of this stuff, one state at a time. But it's going to cost the states money. The states don't have the money. This morning, I got this one. Basically, one organization says 225,000 new jobs were added last month. And then the government, the people that basically do the payroll checks, said there was the largest loss in jobs in 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, basically they said that it came up negative again. So
White House tells Yemen's president to stop scapegoating.
Like Obama has any authority over anybody. They don't care what this guy says. Yeah, in this country.
And suspected iPad data theft released on bail in New Jersey.
They put the iPad out there on a table and they left it. The guy picked it up and tried to give it back, and they wouldn't.
I know. If they're not going to take it back,
yeah,
what do you think?
They wouldn't admit it existed. So.
Well, now they're coming out with a new iPad too, with even Stephen Jobs coming out for it.
Which was it's a pound and a half lighter than the other one, thinner than the iPhone 4. It costs the same, but it still doesn't do what it was meant to do. Because they replaced the iPhone.
Oh, it doesn't?
Still doesn't do phones.
I know. Here's the interesting part. Is they talked about it being less expensive than the rivals like the Motorola Zoom.
But the Motorola Zoom will do phones, and the iPad doesn't.
flooding once again hits weary Ohio town.
Well, yeah, because they're basically the Mackinac in Ohio. Basically, they build the towns on floodplains, and what happens when every so many years they have a massive flood, because this year heavy snowfall is flooding.
Libya quashes protests in Tripoli.
That's right. I mean, this guy. Okay, today they decided they're probably going to bring human rights charges against him, which basically further ensures the fact he is not going to step down peacefully.
And U.S. auto sales beat expectations and jumped 27% in February.
It's up 27% overall if you add all of the companies together, which doesn't make 27%. You add them and divide them by the total amount. You don't get 27%. And that's up over last year, which was down from preceding years.
And AT&T to send text ads to phones based on location.
Yeah, I know. That's how they're going to make more money now with that little thing. Also, the AT&T basically now has put the yellow pages on an app ad up this morning.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have done that before.
Because it was a complicated thing to translate them all.
Oh, well, it does take time. With Russia's $650 billion rearmament plan, the bear sharpens its teeth.
Yeah, they're putting new nuclear submarines, an aircraft carrier, a whole new air force, and our country's getting ready to cut back, which means the next president will have to go rebuild to go up against the Russians again.
Mm-hmm. In court bars streaming of TV programming online.
This is what I still don't understand. That basically they're barring you from showing programs in your community that are supplied for free.
Yeah, why?
That's what the guy, I think, Hal Bingham, which we've met, doesn't understand that. He said, they're barring you from picking something that is free for everybody to see, and they can't do it. The courts have to rule in their favor eventually.
Rutgers says male and female students can share a room.
Well, that's supposedly their response to the guy that was gay, killing himself over being taped having sex with somebody else. And basically the parents are not happy with that.
What?
Yeah. But, let's move in with one another for a few months to see if we're right with one another. And then Alan Combs, who doesn't have a daughter, only has a son. Yeah, well, they're doing it anyway, so what's the big difference? And then his sister said, yeah, but you only have sons, no daughters. We have a daughter.
Uh-huh. Lawyer, fake Utah drilling bids were sabotage.
Yeah, they basically tried to stop stopped all of the drilling in Utah by phony bids being put in that were higher than anybody else's, and which there was no money to back any of it up. Well, they arrested the guy for falsification of bidding. That's a federal offense. But Obama got the drilling stopped for at least a year in Utah now, though.
Army's new fitness test a taste of battlefield.
That's ridiculous. I mean, they really need to take it.
Wow, I think they changed a little bit today, didn't they?
Yeah, but they have the smell of battlefield. Now you can taste it in the very air.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Discount service Groupon launches a China site.
Which means China will cooperate very shortly.
Oil prices jump on Middle East, and Bernanke comments.
Well, yeah, they're up. They basically are higher today than they were yesterday, because they know that those wells are all going to fall. Everything's going to fall, and Obama's basically shutting down drilling in this country.
And Egypt places ban on travel from Mubarak.
I know. Now that's what I said. You just keep tightening the nooses on these people that are being bounced out. No one else is going to leave office peaceably. They can't afford to do it.
And federal judge sides with NFL union in TV dispute.
You can't do it. I mean, he did it, but you can't do it for a simple reason. They have a right to make deals with people, folks. That is a constitutional right. They said, well, they didn't include the unions in the bargaining. They don't have to include the unions in a broadcast deal.
They don't have to.
And I love the judge. I do not mean this to make it look like I am putting a union stamp on what's going on, and then they basically are challenging him as being biased towards the union, because it's exactly what he did. He's a pro-union judge, wrote pro-union, which is why they went to him again.
Bring back the comics, many Oscar watchers urge.
Yeah, they said it really tanked. It wasn't the worst Oscars ever, but it was the 9th worst Oscar in the last 10 years.
That's not so bad. Well, I did have One of the neighbors I talked to them, they said it was so bad. He said that they're not even going to watch the Oscars next year.
You know, we were at the Night of 100 Stars, and I'm looking at one of the executives behind me. And he said this show started out bad and it's gotten worse.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, you know, this is for the president. You have to do what has to be done when it has to be done and not when you want to do it.